The second of the two ways that we can find out the side length and the angle size of a non-right angled triangle is using the cosine rule. So again, given a non-right angled triangle like the following one, we have two relationships. One for finding an unknown angle, which looks like this. The cosine of A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. Probably the important thing to notice here is that if we're finding the cosine of angle A, this angle here, then in the numerator of the fraction, what we actually have is the two adjacent sides to that angle being squared, and then we subtract the square of the side opposite the angle. That's the key thing to notice. It's the two sides that form the angle that are squared and added together, and then we subtract the side opposite squared. And then it's all divided by 2 times the two adjacent angles multiplied together. If we wanted to find an unknown side, then it's actually the same rule, the cosine rule, but the whole formula has been rearranged so that it now has a side as the subject of the formula. So let's see what that looks like. Unknown sides. In fact, what we're going to find is that initially this is going to look very much like Pythagoras' theorem. A squared is equal to b squared plus c squared, and now we have to take away something. It's not simply Pythagoras' theorem. We're going to take something away from that. 2 times b times c times the cosine of A. Again, an important relationship to see here is that if we're looking for the side length, then the angle that is in this latter part of the expression is the angle that's opposite the side length. We're looking for the side A, and we're using the angle A as the cosine of A in the latter part of the expression. Let's have a look at some examples. If I have this following triangle, then what I need to find is the size of the angle x. So we write out the cosine rule. Cos x is equal to 4.2 squared plus 3.6 squared minus 3.8 squared, all over 2 times 4.2 times 3.6. So we find that cos x is equal to, using our calculator, and we enter that in exactly as it looks, approximately 0.5344. That's what the cosine of x equals. What we want to find is the angle x, so we have to perform the inverse cosine function to find the angle x, and x equals the inverse cosine of 0.5344, which equals 57 degrees and 42 minutes to the nearest minute. To find an unknown side, we'll have a look at the following triangle, and we need to find the length of m. So we write the cosine rule for the unknown side, which will be m squared equals 5 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 5 times 8 times the cosine of 46 degrees and 39 minutes. So m squared will equal, when we've entered all of that into the calculator, 34.0837 to 3 decimal places. And it is really important that you understand that that is what m squared is equal to. That is not what m is equal to. To find what m is equal to, we find the square root of that answer. So m is equal to 5.84 units to 2 decimal places. They're examples of how to use the cosine rule for unknown angles and unknown sides. And now it's your time to practice these ones.